I became the kind of person who doesn't wait for life to happen. I wake up and I take control. The secret of 5 a.m. Unlock the power of your mornings. Transform your life with this one simple secret. Watch now and discover what successful people know. There is a time when the world is quiet, when nobody is watching, when your wise people are asleep at that time. But a few people are building a life they want you to escape from. I want you to listen to this true life story that will change your life. Subscribe at my channel and we are about to start the Nafri. This is Discover the Power of 5 a.m. This is the story of a man who had nothing, absolutely nothing, until he discovered the power of 5 a.m. The alarm rang at exactly 5 a.m. A harsh, cracked sound, the kind that doesn't inspire you, the kind that feels like punishment. In a small, dimly lit room in the outskirts of Lagos, Tunde opened his eyes, not because he wanted to, but because life had refused to let him. I slept peacefully for years. The ceiling above me was stained. The fan didn't work. Mosquitoes hummed like they owned the place. Another day, another struggle. On the floor beside my thin mattress lay my only pair of shoes, worn, cracked, almost begging to retire. Beside them, a small nylon bag. Inside it, 2 shirts, 1 pair of trousers, and a dream he no longer believed in. I was 27 years old. But life had already aged him beyond recognition. He had tried everything. Selling sachet water, working as a bus conductor, carrying loads in the market, even learning a trade that never worked out. Nothing stayed, nothing grew, nothing changed. Every night he slept with one question burning in his chest. Is this how my life will end? But this morning something was different. The man had been sitting outside a closed shop, reading a worn-out notebook. Tunde had approached him tired and frustrated. Sir, how do people actually make it in this life? The old man didn't answer immediately. He looked at Tunde, really looked at him, as if he could see everything he had been through. What time do you wake up? What kind of question is that? Just answer. 7 a.m., sometimes 8. How can waking up early solve poverty? 5 a.m. is when your life is still yours. No noise, no pressure, no distraction. If you can control that hour, you can control your life. Tunde went home that night confused, but for the first time in a long time, he felt a small spark. And now it was 5 a.m. Sleep. You deserve rest. Nothing will change. This is useless. What if this is the only chance you have left? That first morning was not magical. There was no sudden breakthrough, no miracle, no money. So he started small. He thought about his life. Really thought. For the first time without distraction, he realized something painful. He had been busy, but not intentional. Working, but not growing. Surviving, but not building. One morning, he made a decision. A simple one. Every day at 5 a.m., I will do something that moves my life forward, no matter how small. Day 1, he wrote down his problems. Day 2, he asked self, what skill can I learn? Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. While the world slept, he started using that 5 a.m. hour to learn. Not in a fancy way. No laptop, no expensive courses, just his phone, cheap data, and determination. He learned about online business, about selling products, about telling stories. At first, it was confusing, overwhelming, frustrating. Many mornings, he felt like giving up. What am I even doing? Who will listen to me? I'm just a poor man. But every time those thoughts came, he remembered the old man's words. If you can control your morning, you can control your life. So he continued. One morning at 5 a.m., while practicing writing, Tunde wrote a story, a simple story, about a poor boy in Lagos trying to survive. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. It was honest. It was him. He posted it online, with shaking hands. Nothing happened. Day 2, nothing. On the 5th day, someone commented. Tunde stared at the message for a long time. That one comment became 10, 10 became 50, 50 became hundreds. People began to follow him, to read his stories, to share them. And all of it started at 5 a.m. Tunde didn't stop. Every morning, 5 a.m. No excuses, no negotiation. He wrote, he learned, he improved. His storytelling became stronger, deeper, more powerful. Then one day, someone sent him a message.
Can you write for my brand? I will pay you. Pay? For writing, right? Tears filled his eyes. That first payment was small, very small, but it meant everything. Because it proved one thing: he was no longer stuck.
Months passed. Tunde's life began to shift, but visibly, he moved from that small room to a better one. Months passed. Tunde's life began to shift, slowly, but visibly. He moved from that small room to a better one. He bought new shoes. He started eating without fear of tomorrow. But the most important change was not money. It was who he became. Disciplined, focused, intentional, all because of one habit: 5 a.m. 1 year later, Tunde returned to that same street where he met the old man. And as if life wanted to complete a circle, the man was there, sitting quietly.
You were right.
The old man smiled, not surprised. What changed, he asked. Tunde took a deep breath, then said, nothing and everything. My problems didn't disappear overnight. My life didn't magically become easy, but I changed. I became the kind of person who doesn't wait for life to happen. I wake up and I take control. The old man nodded. Then he said something Tunde would never forget. Success is not a miracle. It is a habit practiced when nobody is watching. Tunde looked at the rising sun, and for the first time in his life, he smiled without fear, because he knew something most people never understand. It wasn't about 5 a.m. It was about ownership, only time, owning choices, owning your life. And it all starts when you decide to wake up before the world does. Some people are waiting for opportunity. Some are waiting for help. Some are waiting for life to be fair. But a few people wake up at 5 a.m., make it a habit. Some are waiting for help. Some are waiting for life to be fair. But a few people wake up at 5. Build a life that doesn't need permission. The question is not, can waking up early change your life? What are you doing while the world is still asleep? Can you sacrifice your time